Hi guys, it's Mrs. Wright again. It is time for Homer P.Figg chapter 10 out here on the porch. I've got Bentley here, so if he interrupts me, please excuse him. He's seeking a little bit of attention right now, so aren't we all? So it also sounds like it might start raining, so we'll see how this goes. All right, chapter 10, When the River Cries Like a Baby. Harold read me a story once about a man who could see into your mind. Think of a number and he'll pull it out of a deck of cards. Man could tell what you were thinking before you thought it. He knew your Aunt Mildred's birthday and how many horses your brother owned and if you preferred rhubarb to apple pie. At the end, he saw things that got him tarred and feathered and run out of town on a rail, and that was the best part of the story. I'm wondering if Jebediah Brewster has the same power to read minds. Doesn't seem possible he figured everything out by one measly word. Smelt. Turns out it wasn't only the word smelt, it was seeing the man himself. Mr. Smelt has been following us, Brewster explains softly, his hard blue eyes lifted to the hills around us. Thinks he's being clever, but the good Lord gave me eyes of an eagle. That isn't a dirty old weasel. That's Ebenezer Smelt, scuttling among the rocks. He's the color of dirt, but I see him indeed. I do. He made me do it, I managed to say. Made me come here on a rotten lie. Mr. Brewster and Mrs. Bean have been so good and decent, it makes me want to cry, having to admit that I've been sent to betray them. Maybe he did and maybe he didn't, Mr. Brewster said. Not unkindly. Makes no difference. Our strategy remains the same. Let them watch us, Smelt and his confederates. See what that gets them, doing the devil's work. They've got a man, I tell him, eager to make up for my falsehoods. I think they mean to kill him or sell him for a slave. Brewster glances at me sort of sideways, his eyes never straying long from the hills. That's not the proper way to say that. If a man has dark skin, say that he is colored or that he is African, or better yet, do not refer to his complexion. Does the Lord care if we are pink or brown? I assure thee he does not. They put a sack on his head, I tell him, the colored man. That would be Mr. Samuel Reed, the conductor, says Brewster, squinting into the distance. He has been leading a group of slaves to freedom and was abducted 2 days ago. We've been on the lookout ever since. I figure by conductor he means the colored man who works on a train collecting tickets, but Mr. Brewster is talking about the Underground Railroad, which is different. He explains that there aren't any actual trains on the Underground Railroad, no rails to speak of, but they do have conductors who guide fugitive slaves from station to station. Each station being a house or a hiding place. Could be a root cellar or a shed or a mine, anywhere that they can hide fugitives on their way way north to Canada, where slavery has been outlawed. Thousands have come this way, he explains. They are given safety at the station and many others like it. Men like Samuel Reed risk their own freedom so that many others may be free. And men like Mullins and Smelt are always waiting in the shadows, eager to betray them for a few pieces of silver. The evil that men do for money continues to astound me. Are thee kin to such men, Homer Figg? Speak the truth, for I shall know if thee is a lie. I decide that lying to Jebediah Brewster is like lying to God. You can't fool either one. So I tell him about coming upon Stink and Smelt in the woods, and how they stole Bob the horse and took me prisoner, and how Smelt will be waiting for me when night comes, and that he will want to know where the fugitives have been hid. Mr. Brewster nods. It is as I suspected. Come along, Homer, back to the house, as if we are not aware that Mr. Smelt is watching us. This evening after supper, thee wilt report to him as instructed. Well, what should I tell him? I ask Mr. Brewster. What should I tell him? I ask. Mr. Brewster's smile is hard and cold as a diamond gemstone. Tell him the truth, he said. The truth shall set thee free. Night never took so long to come. It's like someone nailed the sun to the sky just to torment me, because the last thing in the world I want to do is come face to face with Ebenezer Smelt. He might try to snatch me away, or even though Mr. Brewster says to tell him the truth, I'm afraid that what he'll do with the truth, because the real truth is I don't know what's going to happen when nightfall gets here. Mr. Brewster is as calm as some old white mountain waiting for the wind to wear it down. There's no rush about him. He waits like waiting is all he ever wanted to do. I was raised among the Society of Friends, the people thee call Quakers, he says, staring at me like a great bearded barn owl. We're on the side porch facing the rolling hills to the west, and every shadow looks like someone is coming to steal me away. In the big warm kitchen, Mrs. Bean is cooking supper. The smell of beef and potatoes wafts out the porch to the porch, makes my throat feel thick, like it's hard to swallow, like I still have a few fat lies stuck in my throat. The friends believe no man may be enslaved by another, Mr. Brewster continues, very stern. We also believe no man has the right to kill another, even in war, no matter how just the war is. Forbidden from the battlefield, I must find another way and another path towards righteousness. Such a place is here, he says, thumping the rocking chair with his fist. Jebediah Brewster stands up tall and the world and takes a hold of my hand. Come along, Homer Figg. There's a sight thee must see. He takes me to the basement door. Figure he's going to lock me up like Squint, throw away the key, except there's no locks on the door in Jebediah Brewster's house. Don't be afraid, he says. No harm will come to thee. He lights a glowing lantern and opens the basement door. From below comes the light of other lanterns and a gentle murmur that sounds like a deep river that cries like a baby. What do you think? Who do you think is down there? I think you can probably guess. So they have a plan in place. I like this Jebediah Brewster guy. He's calm, he's cool, he's collected, he doesn't panic, he knows what he's going to do. And so Homer just kind of has to trust him that it's going to be okay. So as you can hear, it's kind of raining on my porch here. So I'm ready to go, and I got to go meet with Dr. Luskery. How about that? I have to get on a Skype call. So I will see you tomorrow, and have a great day. Be good. Bye.